So thank you for that wonderful performance by my friends. Having watched the performance, I think we should now go on to look at the learning points of the performance and our presentation info. Okay, we'll first look at the properties of a paternalistic career development model. Okay, on the first point, efficiency is improved in a paternalistic model because knowledge as to how to use the methods that have been perfected by the company is passed on to many. This reduces the likelihood of an employee having to source out methods of doing things which might be less efficient. This point has been illustrated in the skit, which shows that Preston having a much easier time learning stuff and achieving results. Secondly, sense of belonging is reinforced because mentorship programs as well as internal programs courses conducted by the company's own leaders can lead to stronger informal relationship forged between employees and management. On the last point, the flaws of having an apparent hair, as mentioned by Kevin Gross, are avoided since these training programs will equip many with the necessary skills to fit most posts in the company, which means that the company will have many potential candidates to select from to fill them up, instead of having just a few of them. Moving on to the cons of the paternalistic model, we noted that the main flaw with the paternalistic model is that it might inhibit creativity of the employees. In these models, employees are encouraged to do things that produce results and adopt methods that are outlined by the company to be effective. Quoting Arthur Fry, the inventor behind Post-it notes, he mentioned that you have to go through 5,000 to 6,000 raw ideas to find one successful business. Six Sigma to us, why not eliminate all that waste and just come up with the right idea to begin with? Such thinking can have devastating effect to the company's culture. I mean, take for example, if a researcher in the company wants to invent something, the supervisor will ask him, you sure this is going to work? You sure this is going to be better than the current process and the inventions that we have in our company? You sure you will make money? If you are sure, then you go and write proposal, writing all the commercial applications as well as the manufacturing concerns for us. So under such a paternalistic model, there's so many checks and scrutiny, and such growths and breakthroughs such as Post-it notes, which are the trademark product of 3M, might be less frequent since there have to be allowance for risks and variations in order to be able to come up with them. And these two variables are exactly what a paternalistic model would try to eliminate. For a company like 3M that tries on innovation, this might not be too good. So having understood the paternalistic model, we shall now look at the pros and cons of the non-paternalistic model. Firstly, the pros of the non-paternalistic model. The main advantage of a non-paternalistic model is that it promotes creativity, and that creativity is less likely to be stifled. And this point was illustrated in the skit with Oliver being able to come up with creative solutions to a problem, simply because there was no one to constantly discourage him from doing so and follow their standards of doing things, which on the contrary was what's happening in Preston's house. Moving on to the cons of the non-paternalistic system, we can see that in the skit, though Oliver did well for his Mensa, he could not do well for his monthly tests and exams. In the corporate context, if there are too many Olivers around and too little Prestons, there will not be enough personnel equipped with the optimum methods to handle the daily operations and process of a company. In addition, without training programs to pass down knowledge of the best methods of handling certain process and operations, they might be lost if those who masters them retires or join another company. That is the first point. And on the second point, we noted that these training programs provided by a paternalistic model can serve as a good platform to strengthen network among employees. In a non-paternalistic model, these training programs are absent, and without them, the company might miss out on an avenue to develop stronger sense of belonging among its staff through network. To conclude, we will say that each system has its merit. The key will be to observe the circumstances surrounding the company and decide from there on as to which system will be more favored. In the case of 3M, they are lucky to have a leader like McNerney that places great emphasis on improving process and operations when the economy is booming, so as to capture as much consumer spending as possible. And at the same time, lucky to have a leader like Buckley who sees such bad economy times as a good opportunity to repair the company's innovative culture by modifying some of its predecessors' plans. So with all that, we thank you for your time and patience, and we'll end our presentation.